So I've been playing around with lookup tables and they are awesome. And when I saw this image from Cyberpunk online, I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if you could have, that selective color pop with, the reds and the yellows here in the image using a lookup table. And yeah, I got it to work. It was honestly more straightforward than I thought. So all you need to do really is a selective color, but you want to have the lookup table present. Here's one I prepared earlier. And here's our example image. So I've just got that in here and it's going to sit on top of all my other layers, all of my other adjustment layers. And I've got to make sure I've got the lookup table. This is just a neutral lookup table, just sitting in the corner here with all colors represented. And it has to be visible. It doesn't have to be on the same layer, but it has to be visible in order for this to work. So we're just going to add a new hue and saturation layer. Then we're going to go color range, as we would if we were making a layer mask or something like that. So I'm going to start with the reds first. So I'm going to hold Shift to select all of the reds. And I'm going to leave fuzziness. If we zoom in here, you can see that it's starting to pick up those reds in the color table as well. Okay, so you can see the layer mask has been added to our adjustment layer. Now we can come in here and completely ruin the color accurate example image by making our muted reds kind of a magenta, hot magenta here. And you can see that being picked up in the color table. And yeah, rinse and repeat. Let's go and do the yellows. So go to select and color range. And this time we're going to choose our yellows and hold down shift click. And it's gone a bit too far and it's, so let's start again. It's picking up that yellow dress, so we don't want that. So let's just let go of shift and start with the yellow again and hold shift and just try and isolate, as you can see in that black and white example image, just the yellows there. Just the yellows there. And you can see it in the lookup table as well. So let's go and adjust that, pump up the saturation, make it a bit more of a neon kind of a yellow. And lucky last, we're going to do one more layer with hue and saturation for our blue tones. So we're going to get that dress. And I might even jump into pick up some of those swatches as well. So that's looking good. And let's pump up the saturation again and kind of color shift that into a kind of a more of a cyan, electric cyan kind of a color. Okay, and we're looking good. Now I've set this up as a slice, so I can just save for web and it will output only the color lookup table. Essentially, that's your color table there. So however you want to get that out, just get it out as a, well, JPEG in this case, but you probably want to use a PNG. Let's just use a JPEG for now. It's going to get the point across. Okay, and we've got our image here, and you can see that the yellows, the reds, and the blues are being color shifted in that way. So let's jump over into Spark AR. It's a quick way to show these lookup tables. I'll drop it into the materials, and I'm going to be using this fast color LUT, fast color lookup table patch. So let's just choose our lookup table, and there's nothing special in the image yet. You can sort of see that it's picking up the blues and the reds in my mouth, which is interesting. And immediately we've got a color shift in those reds, in the blues, definitely in the blues. And put it all together and you've got essentially selective color in video lookup table form. And you can see in the lower left hand corner the original, well, the native colors coming from the camera. So all we need to do now is just add that cyan or kind of cyberpunk blue tones throughout the image, re-export our lookup table, bring it back in, and wow, we're in cyberpunk land. And you'll see that the reds, and especially the reds and the yellows, will pop even more with this blue, this kind of blue aqua background. The blue on blue, the electric blue, it is, you know, obviously different, but it's not going to pop as much as the reds and yellows. So if you're wearing a red lipstick, this is going to really pop. And if you've got like yellow on your clothes or something like that, it's going to be a nice surprise in your filter. So hope that makes sense, and I hope you enjoy your selective color lookup table.